six. Quest for the six. Quest for the six. Yeah. It's quest for the six. We ain't taking nothing less, and we ain't taking, let's get it. Yeah. It's quest for the six. Quest for the six. Yeah, it's quest for the six. Yeah. It's quest for the six. We ain't letting up a little bit until we get that six. Put me in, coach. Let me run the game. I talk a lot of things. I aim a lot of things. I am a lot of folks. I am a lot of fools. I tell you what you is. You be a bloody nose. We hitting hard like some hard fucking hitters. Talk a lot of shit, spit the business in the witness. Tell it like it is, and I ain't giving fucks. You talk about what it is, and guess what? I'm popping trunks, I light you up. What you talking about? Really don't want no beef, and if you do, and I will come around, and yes, you will cease to it. This, and I don't really give a fuck, because once you get me pissed, that's it. That be the end of your luck. Bye-bye. Quest for the six. Quest for the six. Quest for the six, yeah. It's quest for the six. We ain't taking nothing less, and we ain't taking, let's get it. Yeah. It's quest for the six. Quest for the six. Yeah, it's quest for the six. Yeah. It's quest for the six. We ain't letting up a little bit until we get that six. Quest for the quest for the quest for the six. It's quest for the six. Quest for the six. Quest for the six.
Top of the morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. It's your boy BG the Cowboys Unifier, and we are live in the lab here today on Supporter Saturday. So do me a favor, just make sure you can hear me. First of all, give me a comment in the comment section. Got a special guest here for all the Green Badge supporters. You know, a lot of folks say, well, you know, why should I support this content? What's so different about this content? You know, everybody talks about the Cowboys. Well, what makes us a little bit different here at Built Different Group is we talk about the fans, and we've got a special fan that we're going to have joining the show here today. Somebody I know very well, good friend of mine since 2018. I've been knowing him and developed a relationship with him behind these Dallas Cowboys. He is a retired Army veteran as well. And, you know, as a couple of veterans, we hit it off, and we've been in touch ever since. And I'd like to welcome him to the show here shortly. We're going to build him up a little bit. Let's say good morning to everybody tapping in on the show this morning. It is all about the Green Badges today. So if you're a Green Badge and you're tapping into the gym early this morning, it's 10:03 on the West Coast. I need you to get up. I need you to get that share bar going. Get on that share bar, start throwing it up and get it out there. Let's grow this audience. We got a special guest here that we want to bring on and tell you about today. Good morning, Ruben. See you out there in Arizona. Appreciate you tapping in. Hey, Peter, how are you? Good morning. Appreciate all the Green Badges tapping in. Tanya's tapping in. Hey, good morning, Michelle. Appreciate you. Good to see you here early this morning. Got a special guest, y'all. So make sure y'all share this video, all the Green Badges. Let's help this audience grow. Morning, Nicole. How we doing? Hey, Mike. What's up, baby? See you tapping in up here to Pacific Northwest. Appreciate all of the Green Badges tapping in. One of the things that, you know, I've been very fortunate to be able to do is build some healthy relationships with other NFL like-minded fans. All the way up here in Seattle, you know, thanks to social media and the Dallas Cowboy fan base, we have a lot of trendsetters in the Dallas Cowboy fan base. And recently here, a couple of months, I introduced y'all to, you know, Chase Smith, who was the NFL Fan of the Year for the Dallas Cowboys. You remember that? Just do me a favor, like this video if you remember. Chase Smith coming up on here, sharing how he became NFL Fan of the Year for the Dallas Cowboys. You know, he got to go out to the Super Bowl in LA. It was a pretty good deal. If you remember that, just like this video. And Chase, if you're on here this morning, do me a favor and comment. But we've got a new NFL Fan of the Year here for the Dallas Cowboys. It's a brand new season, y'all. And he's one of the 32 selected NFL Fans of the Year for the 32 NFL fan bases. And for the Dallas Cowboys, some of you may know him. Some of you probably have took a picture with him. And some of you are probably going to want to know a little bit more about him today, and we're going to share his story. So I would like to welcome Soup Man, Mr. James Wright, to the show. Good morning, brother. How you doing?
Good morning.
What time is it over there? Where you at? You in Texas or you in Oklahoma?
I'm in Texas. We got about 12:05.
12:05, just after high noon. I see you got your church clothes on, and it's not even Sunday, brother. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I always got to stay ready.
That's right. You definitely got to stay ready, especially with these Dallas Cowboys, right?
Absolutely.
Well, good deal. Well, welcome to the show, James. I know a lot of folks may not know you. I know a lot of folks do know you, but you've been selected as the Dallas Cowboys NFL Fan of the Year. First of all, how does that even feel as a fan to be honored or to be recognized by not only the NFL, but the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, it feels amazing that the team selected me to be the fan of the year. So it wasn't a vote. As far as I know, from what they was telling me, they went through all the applications and they selected me. So that feels pretty amazing that one of the things that I love, the Cowboys, recognize me as being one of their biggest supporters.
I see. And I follow you. You know, me and you are friends on Facebook. I seen you when you got the announcement, you know, the button, all of that good stuff. Where were you at when you got word initially? Like, how did that unfold? Can you share that with us?
Oh, yeah. So initially I was at work and I got an email from Miss Savannah. And Savannah, hey, how you doing, Peter? Miss Savannah sent me an email and told me that I was a nominee for the fan of the year, and if I was able to do an interview like we're doing right now. And I told her, yeah, I would be available to do the interview. So that happened on a Monday, and then I didn't hear anything from her for about a week. And then on Friday, she asked me if I was able to be ready for the interview by 12 on Saturday. And I said, yeah, sure. So when Saturday came, I'm sitting where I was sitting right now in my Cowboys room, waiting for the interview. Also, Saturdays before the game, we do this Dallas Cowboy experience out at the Toyota factory here in Dallas, where we meet and greet former and current players. So I was going to do my phone interview, and then after I did my phone interview, I was going to go to my tailgate and have a good time. So I'm here waiting to get in, like I was waiting to get in for the phone interview, and I never could get in. So I was calling Savannah and telling her, hey, I can't get in. It's not letting me in. I don't know what's going on. And she's like, hey, we're running late, but we'll be there in a few minutes. She said, just hang on and it'll come in a few minutes. And then next thing I know, they're knocking on my door, and my best friend tells me to go ahead and open the door. And I'm like, I can't open the door because I'm waiting to get into this phone interview. So she's like, no, open the door. So I run downstairs, I open the door, and they're bigger than day. Darren Woodson is at the door, and he's like, hey, I'm Darren Woodson of the Dallas Cowboys. I just want to let you know you've been selected as a Dallas Cowboys fan of the year. And I was just like, what?
Woody showed up at the door, dog.
He showed up at the door. He was at the door. He came to my house. They brought the bus. They brought cheerleaders, and they brought the drum line. Two cheerleaders, two drum line, Darren and Rowdy, all came to my house.
And you didn't even know they was out there. They were telling you to answer the door, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, that's special. Did you and Woody get to talk a little bit? You get to shake his hand?
Oh, yeah.
So, what went down with Woody, baby?
So with Woody, he the initial. So I don't wear shoes in my house normally, so I was just sitting relaxing, and he was like, "Hey, come on outside and let me show you what all you got." So I was like, "Thanks so much, Brandon." So I was like, "Hang on, I got to go back inside and I got to put on my shoes because I'm walking around without any shoes on." So I go back in, grab my shoes, come outside. They give me the jersey. In the middle of the interview, I'm like, hey, this is Darren Woodson. I probably need to take a picture with him before he leaves. Right. So I stop in the middle of the interview and I'm like, hey, let's take a selfie real quick. And they're like, whoa, you're getting interviewed. I was like, I know, but this is Darren Woodson. You're not understanding.
Yeah, didn't he just get selected as one of the semifinalists for this upcoming year's Hall of Fame? I think so.
Yeah,
him and who was it? The Magnificent Thief, Everson Walls, right?
Yeah. So but they haven't decided. Hopefully they make it, because that's what he asked me. He said, will I go to the Hall of Fame if he's enshrined in the Hall of Fame? I said, I will absolutely be there. He's like, okay, I'm going to hold you to that. So I was like, yeah, I'll absolutely be there. I said I went to the Hall of Fame for the first time when Drew Pearson got selected, and we saw each other out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, anyways, we go outside, and he introduces me to Rowdy and gives me my my jersey. Let me show you my jersey.
Yeah, yeah, get that out. You just tapping in, do me a favor, leave us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. If you've met Soup Man before, give us a comment. Let us know you've met him before. He's taken many a photo out there with people. He's definitely the epitome of boots on ground, and I believe that's a big part of the reason why they selected him. But how cool is that, man? Woody showing up at your door, man. If Darren Woodson showed up at my door, I might pass out.
Yeah, I almost did. So they gave me this jersey. So it's the 22, the official fan of the year logo, and then they got my name on the back. So that's what they had presented me with, and then they put me on the bus, on Dallas Cowboys bus, and they took me out to the Star, put me up in the room, gave me a room, took me on a little shopping spree, and gave me a private tour of the Star.
Man, they rolled out the blue carpet for you.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was I was like, wow. I thought that was pretty much it. And then Savannah's like, no, you actually get Super Bowl tickets. You're gonna get you're going to the draft, and they're doing a statue of me.
Wow.
So the statue will be presented to me on the 11th. I just don't have all the details yet. She's going to tell me all the details for the statue.
Right. Man, that's awesome, James. And just let's back this up a little bit, because now we're here. You know, you've been selected. People that didn't know you by now know you. Everybody that knows you, loves you, supporting it. We're voting. We're going to talk about that out here. But how did Soup Man manifest itself? Can you give people the short version of how did Soup Man even get established in the Dallas Cowboy fan base?
Okay, so it was all to win a contest by Fan Zone. So Cynthia Bowen puts on this Dallas Cowboys takeover annually once a year. So she had a prize for a fashion show of a helmet that was going to be the first place prize. So in my mind, I said, I want to win this helmet. So how can I win this helmet in this fashion show? And I said, well, I can't wear a jersey because everyone's wearing a jersey. There's only so much you could do to a jersey to make it different from anyone else's jersey.
That's basic level.
So I was like, I got to wear something different. So my brother happened to come to town, and we went to a game, and he wore this powder blue suit to a game. And I'm looking at my brother like, we're going to a football game, right? And he's like, yeah, I dress up whenever I go to a football game. So he dressed up, and when he dressed up at the football game in this non-Dallas Cowboy powder blue suit, everyone was stopping him trying to take a picture with him. So I said, that's it. I'm going to wear a suit to this fashion show, and that's going to make me win first place. And that's where the whole concept came from. So fast forward 6 months later, we do the Cowboys takeover in Las Vegas. The fashion show comes. I win first place. So after that, I still had this custom suit, which is the suit that I'm wearing now. That I don't have anything else to do with this suit because I just got it for that one event. So I said, you know what? I'm going to wear it to the football game just to see, as something to do since I paid for the suit. I said, I'm going to wear it to the game. So I wore it to the game, and it was an away game. It was in San Diego, and people absolutely loved it. So I said, you know what? This is going to be me from now on.
Proof of concept. Proof of concept, right?
Yep.
And at that contest in Vegas, there were some Dallas Cowboy players, I believe, there, maybe not with the team anymore. Do you remember any of the players there? I think there were judges during that contest for you as well, weren't they?
Yeah, it was Terrence Smith. He was one of the judges, one of the wide receivers. It was Kevin Harris. Miss Price was one of the judges. Me and Miss Price used to hang out a lot, and she was like, hey, I'm not gonna help you win this contest. You're gonna have to win this contest on your own. I said, Miss Price, I'm gonna win this contest. I don't need your help, because she hadn't seen the outfit. She's seen the pre-makes of the outfit, but she hadn't seen that whole outfit together. So I said, I'm gonna win. I said, hands down, I'm gonna win. I already know I'm gonna win. I said, no one will have a suit. No one else will have a suit. I'm pretty sure. And so she was one of the judges. I can't remember the other judges.
Now, you said that, fast forward a little bit. Thank you for sharing that story with us on how Superman was birthed. If you don't know, you can check us out on officialamericas.com. You know, the only website talking about NFL fans. I told you what makes this page different than your typical Dallas Cowboy page. Well, most pages want to talk about the players, which we do. But most players don't talk about, or most pages don't talk about the fans, and that's what we do here. So make sure you go to officialamericas.com and check out the story of Superman here. You see, he's at the Cowboys experience. Y'all remember that guy? Yeah, that's Tattoo Mark right there. Shout out to Tattoo Mark. But also, we seen Jalen Smith with the New York Giants. My, how things have kind of switched around a little bit. Did you notice that out there in the game? Did you see Jalen Smith playing with the Giants?
Yeah, he actually still wearing number 54. He's wearing 54, and he's out there with the Giants. Cynthia, I seen Cynthia at the game, and she got a picture with him right before they went out and started playing.
Nice. Well, you're pictured here with him, and I noticed you said that you go to the Cowboys experience. That's still being ran by the other BG, right? Is that Barry Griffith?
Yes.
So shout out to Barry Griffith. I remember going to one of the first Cowboy experiences. I actually got to meet Jalen Smith. I got to meet his brother Rod Smith there too as well. So shout out to Barry Griffin. I know y'all are doing big things. Y'all usually have Michael Gallup. Who y'all gonna have out there? Y'all doing the social this Saturday?
No. We did it actually last Wednesday. So it's always the day before the game. So since the game was Thanksgiving, we did it on Wednesday this past week. And we had Ed Too Tall Jones, Kenny Gant, No Sean Wright, and Sam Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Julio tapping in here from Virginia. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Do us a favor, leave us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. We got the marvelous Soup Man here with us. Who does all of your alterations, man? I mean, are you doing them yourself too?
No. So I have a seamstress. Her name is Stacy, and she's here in DeSoto where I live. And it took me like 6 months to convince her just to do the suit, because she was like, it takes too much time, it's too much work, too much energy, it's going to cost too much. I said, don't worry about it, just make it, and then I'll pay for it. I just wanted to win the contest, so that was my whole thing.
How does she feel, or does she know now that her threads have actually got you into the NFL Fan of the Year contest?
So when I told her, because I went and told her right after they came and selected me, and I told her, and she really didn't understand the magnification of what it all meant. So whenever I tell people that I'm the Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year, people always say, "Oh yeah, I know you. Yeah, we already know you're the Fan of the Year." And I'm like, "No, the Dallas Cowboys actually selected me to be the Fan of the Year." And they're like, "Yeah, we know." I'm like, "No, you don't understand. I'm getting Super Bowl tickets. Like, I'm going to the Super Bowl. They're paying for me to go to the Super Bowl. They're paying for me to go to NFL Honors, where I'm competing against all the other NFL Fans of the Year to be the NFL Fan of the Year." And they're
I'm glad that you bring that up. Sorry to interrupt you, but you talk about you're in this finalist. You're one of the 32 finalists of the NFL. You got tickets. Are all of the finalists going to the Super Bowl? Is that how they work?
Yes. We all get to go to the Super Bowl.
You're gonna learn who the overall Fan of the Year is there at the Super Bowl. Is that how that works?
That's how that works. So they're doing the vote now until February 12th, 23, and I guess the most votes wins. They haven't really given us the guidelines on how that all works.
Right.
But I'm just asking people to vote as much and as often and as on many devices as they can until February 12th, and then we'll find out whether I won or not. I'm going to have a whole totally new, different suit, different concept for that game. My coworker gave me an idea. Robert Cooper, he's a school teacher and he's an art teacher from 8th grade Spruce, and he gave me an idea concept. So that's in the makings right now. So hopefully I can win that.
Love that. Now you're retired Army, and you also, are you in the ROTC? Is that what you're currently doing out there? You teaching ROTC students?
Yes, I'm retired Army. I did 29 years in the Army, and now I teach high school JRTC at Spruce High School here in Pleasant Grove.
Nice. How many cadets you got in your program there?
Right now we got about 185. We average about 240, but due to COVID, we've lost some numbers from our school because of COVID, but we got about 185, 190 roughly.
Right on. Have you got any contacts at any of the recruiters from Navy Recruiting District Dallas came down there to the DeSoto High School in your program yet? Have they helped out or graded or done anything?
Oh yeah, I have all the recruiters come and talk to them. I'm biased to the Army, of course, because I was in the Army, but we let the cadets decide because our program is built off of being a better person. Graduating high school is our program. When I taught at the college, I taught at Stephen F. Austin for 4 years. That college, I mean, that program is to gear you to go into the Army. So college gets you in the Army, and that's ROTC. JROTC is at the high school level.
Right on. Now, circling back, there was an event here recently with Cowboys Life family that had something to do with Emerald Lagasse. And Brandon is on the line here today, and I think he's asking, he says, Pleasant Grove in East Texas. I think he's trying to figure out where your school was at. But I believe you and Brandon and Cowboy Life family, y'all got to go out there and participate in this Emerald Lagasse's tailgate show. Did you not?
Oh, yeah, we did. So that was a thing for Big Brother. He was selected to go on the show. Him and Big Val, they were selected to go on the show because they do great tailgates out at Lot 11. If you're ever in Dallas on a game day, Lot 11, come out to Lot 11, and you'll see Big Brother and Big Val out there. They're cooking it up and some good food out there.
Yeah. Shout out to Raymond. Shout out to Big Bro. Shout out to Big Val. Yeah, I got to watch that. I thought that was cool. Brandon is on the line here today. He's a big-time Green Badge supporter and supporter of the content. I know he was there with you. I seen him a little bit in there. I thought that was really cool that Emerald Lagasse did these tailgate shows, and we got to get it right because this, and pun intended when we got it right, but I think this is the third year for the NFL Fan of the Year contest. Am I not right?
As far as I know, yeah, this is the third year. They started in 2020 with the COVID year, and then they brought it back the next 2 years.
Yeah. So I remember last year's Fan of the Year. I don't know if you caught that here with Chase Smith. If you've met Chase or you know Chase.
Actually,
Chase actually was approaching me. He was a supporter here of the content here about a year and a half ago, and he was like, "Hey man, would you vote for me?" And I'm like, "I don't know nothing about this," and then I didn't know him, so I'm like, I don't even know how this works. So I'm thankful that he was actually selected because I had to eat a little bit of crow and learn about this program. And man, the Dallas Cowboys got it right because I was like, see that word right again. They got it right because I was like, Chase Smith was in Montana, and a lot of folks was like, how the hell y'all pick a Dallas Cowboy fan way in BFE in Montana? But you're right there in DeSoto, right there at the pulse of everything going on in Texas. And I couldn't be more ecstatic. I was campaigning for Super Cowboy. I know you know Super Cowboy over there. So shout out to all of our primos and primas south of the border. Shout out to the Radio Metroplex out there with him. We had him on here campaigning, and then here you came out of the woodworks, and they're like, Superman's Fan of the Year. And I'm like, well, I know him too. So we're going to get him up on here, and I definitely wanted to introduce you to the rest of the Cowboy cousins here. And then also for them not to only know your story, but like you said, to get out. Voting still goes till February 12th, you said, right?
Yes, February 12th.
People can vote more than one time. They can vote on multiple devices. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, good deal. So we wanted to get you on here today. It is November after all, and we are in the month of November, which is the Salute the Service campaign for the NFL. They highlight that campaign. It's an annual campaign with uniformed service members and retired like James, like myself. And I couldn't be more happy that they got it out of the mud, so to speak, when they picked you as the Fan of the Year. Now you're out there, you're going, you said you've been to all the games and you're going to all the games, right?
Absolutely. So this year, well, I usually go to about 4 or 5 away games a year before I was selected as Fan of the Year. But this year, once I got selected, so I was going to all the games up until the bye before I got selected to be Fan of the Year. And then once I got selected as Fan of the Year, I was able and fortunate enough to go to all of the games. So I will be at all the games this year.
So the next one you'll be at is the Colts game. That's a home game, and you'll be there with Barry Griffith and the Cowboys Experience on that Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
For folks who haven't met you, if you're just watching this, or if you know a Cowboy fan that's coming to Arlington to watch the Dallas Cowboys take on the Indianapolis Colts on December 4th, make sure you go check out the Cowboys Experience. Hit up Superman here. We've got him tagged on social media. You'll get a chance to meet him out there. What players do you or who's going to be out there for the December 3rd Cowboys Experience? Are you aware of yet?
They haven't released the players, the current players, because it's based off of their schedule and what they have going on for that week. So he sends out a request, and then once he gets the request, then he'll put it out like a couple of days before.
Okay, good deal. So Kelly's tapping in from the East Coast. She's asking, you gonna be in Nashville at the Titans game?
I will absolutely be in Nashville at the Titans game. I'm actually doing New Year's in Nashville is what I'm doing. So I will be at the Titans game, and me and my group of friends that we hang out and go to the games together. We're going to stay in Nashville, and we're going to do New Year's in Nashville.
That sounds awesome. Now, I think you said that you won that contest out there with Fans On in Vegas. I believe the ladies, the Bowen sisters, are going to have the takeover for the Titans game down there in Tennessee too as well with Fans On. So a lot of Cowboy fans look like they're going to be descending upon Tennessee, and that is going to be on Thursday Night Football, right? That's the 29th of December. So get your schedules out. Superman is going to be there December 3rd at the Barry Griffith Cowboys Experience. That's the other BG. Shout out to Barry. And then, like I said, I met them early on, 17, I believe 18, went out there when they were just getting started. I actually got to meet Drew Pearson there. That was the first time I actually met Drew Pearson, was at the Cowboys Experience.
Yes.
But good deal. So you're out on the campaign. You've been taking photos. I see that you're taking pictures with folks in the airports. Are you out there canvassing, looking for votes, or are people coming up to you? Tell folks how that works for you.
Yeah. So what happens is whenever I go somewhere, I usually wear something Dallas Cowboy, depending on what it is. So 90% of the time, people ask to take a picture. So whenever they ask to take a picture with me, I'm like, hey, if you take a picture, you got to vote. And I'll show you how to vote. And then I'll tell them that I'm the Dallas Cowboys fan of the year. And then whenever I show them how to vote, then they see that it's really a big deal, because it's a bigger deal than what I thought it was. And I do know Chase. I met Chase last year, just like you met Chase last year when he was selected as the fan of the year for 2021. And I just asked Chase, I said, Chase, what did you do to become fan of the year? And he was like, hey, I just filled out this application and I was selected. I was like, that is freaking amazing. So when I got selected, Savannah, she's the one that's reviews the packets and decides with her committee on who's going to be the fan of the year. She said she remembered me from when I met Chase last year in the Miller Lite area. And fast forward now, and that's how I was selected. And then I'm military. I'm a breast cancer supporter. I'm a school teacher. So, and unfortunately, my wife passed away last year from COVID. So that was a pretty rough year.
Yeah, definitely was. Now, what advice would, and I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for sharing that with us. I see you out there wearing the pink. I know you got your slingy out there. I think you got it all decked out. And Cowboys, I seen that. Thank you, Brandon. Brandon was out there. He got that video of you guys at the Big Bro Barbecue. What advice do you have for the 2023 fans that are looking at you and saying, how can I be NFL fan of the year for the Dallas Cowboys in 2023?
So the only advice I can give you is do like I did. I filled out the application. They released the application around the middle of June or early July. And once it's released, fill it out. Take the time. It takes you about 45 minutes to fill it out. So fill it out. The worst that could happen is that you don't win and there's no harm, no foul. That's the worst that could happen. And that's what I said. So I said, I'm going to fill it out and I'm going to see what happens. And if I don't win, then I don't win. But if I do win, then that's a great thing. But I don't have a chance of winning if I don't at least fill out the application.
It's kind of like the lottery. You can't win unless you buy a ticket.
Right. You can't win unless you enter into the competition.
Yeah. I know a lot of fans will look at it like, I don't want to put myself in for it. You could be nominated or you could nominate yourself. But look, man, you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Like, you've been recognized. I think you just got a big box from Captain Morgan's at your house, right?
Yeah, yesterday.
They sponsored this NFL Fan of the Year. So share what Captain Morgan sent you to the house.
So yesterday, I was looking at my camera because I was out. A real good friend of mine, one of the DCRB dancers, her name is Ariel. Her mom, her name is Joanna. We were over at her house and they invited me over for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving 2, actually, because yesterday was day after Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving 2. And then I was looking at my camera and I seen I had a box outside, but I thought it was the stuff that I had ordered versus something from Captain Morgan, because I had no idea that I was getting something else.
Right.
So when I get home, I brought the box in, didn't think nothing of it because I thought it was my stuff that I ordered. So I just put it in the living room and I was like, okay, I'll get to it once I get done doing all of my other stuff. And then I go downstairs and my son, he stays with me. He comes down, we're talking. He's like, Dad, what's that box in the living room? I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I said, that's probably the stuff that I ordered. So we go to the living room and I open up the box. And when I open up the box, bigger than day, it says fan of the year. So I stopped and I was like, son, you got to record this because I have no idea what this is.
Right.
And I didn't even know I was getting this. So that's when he started recording me and caught it on video as I opened the box.
Yep, sponsored by Captain Morgan's. I believe they partnered with the NFL, and they were there last year, I think, with Chase Smith. I believe he said he got something too as well. I think that's pretty cool. What is the schedule of events moving forward for you for the NFL Fan of the Year? I know you're going to the games.
Say it one more time.
I said, what is your schedule moving forward with the Fan of the Year contest? I know you're going to the remainder of the games. Are there any other commitments or anything that you have to do other than just show up at the Super Bowl in Arizona?
The only other commitment is on December 11th. It's going to be my statue dedication. I don't know what all that entails yet, but if you're at the game on December 11th, please come out to the statue dedication. I'll send out the information once I get it from Savannah. I don't know if it's going to be at halftime, if it's going to be before the game, if it's going to be during the game, because she's gonna send me the info. But come out, take a picture with the statue, and I'll be there as much as I can to take as many pictures as I can.
I think that's pretty cool, man, because you know what's on December 10th, right?
Oh, what's that?
The Army-Navy game. So December 10th is the Army-Navy game. It's scheduled the 11th. They got your statue. I mean, you're retired Army. I just think that's really cool that all of that stuff is going on around that weekend. So make sure if you're going to be at that's against the Texans on December 11th. Make sure y'all get out there to that third home game. That's before the Cowboys go on the road to Jacksonville and the Jaguars. Now, you plan on going out to Jacksonville too as well, right?
Absolutely.
We're with my guy, LaDon Murray. I think Stacey Elliott, CeeDee Lamb's father, and a couple of other big names are going to be at this post-game party there in Jacksonville. So I'll send you the details on that. I know he'd be happy to have you come through, maybe do a cameo or something like that as we get everybody connected here. So who would you like to thank? I know you got some people that are in your corner. I know you couldn't have done it by yourself because getting around and I mean, you teach and you're retired and you know, you're a big fan and like there's a lot of things going on.
So I didn't hear the first part of the question.
You know, what are your plans moving forward? You know, for you know, you're actually going to all of the rest of the games. We talked about, you know, you got the statue unveiling. That's the biggest commitment that's coming out. You shared some advice on, you know, fans that are watching here, how they could become NFL Fan of the Year. Who do you want to shout out? Anybody really been in your corner? I know you know, your lovely wife, Rose, I got a chance to meet her. And, you know, it's sad, but I know there's been some folks that's in your corner as a result. Would you like to highlight those folks and give them a big shout out here today, James?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I have a lot of folks that are in my corner. First and foremost, God is definitely in my corner. My wife, Rosita, she's not here, but she would definitely have loved this whole experience because she knows my passion and she allowed me to be me. All of my kids, all 7 of them. So I have Sharice, Shayla, Javon, James Jr., which are my kids. And then I have Chelsea, Cecilia, and then Kristen. Those are Rose's kids, but they're my kids. So all 7 of my kids. I have 9 grandkids, 2 grandkids on the way. Definitely want to thank them. They just know me as Papa. And they love me for me. They don't care too much about the Cowboys. They just love me for me. And then I have a whole bunch of friends that are in my corner that are supporting me. So I have Stephanie Penny. She is one of my friends that go with me to a lot of the games because she's a diehard fan as well. Then I have Kat. She's out in California. Sally Ride is who she is on the internet. She's in my corner. I have my best friends, Bernard Collins, which is in South Carolina. Then I have Alan Johnson, which is in South Carolina. They're in my corner. I have Smitty. He's in Oklahoma. It's just a whole bunch of people. I know I'm going to miss and leave off some people, but there's so many people that are in my corner. Tattoo Mark, he's another really good friend of mine. Greg Wilson, Wrecking Ball, he's another good friend of mine. Jaime Balls Mahoney, another good friend of mine. Just a
Y'all
whole
are like
bunch
the
of
usual suspects there in the Miller Lite Club. You always see you, Wrecking Ball, James Mahoney, Miss Price, everybody down there, West Coast. Everybody's always in the Miller Lite Club down there. And it's truly a family affair. I don't think that the NFL couldn't have got it any more right when they did and they picked you. And I'm ecstatic about that. I'm happy that you got to come up on here and share your story. You shared your story with me back in 2018. I'm thankful that we got to cross paths. And man, I'm looking forward to you going to the Super Bowl and actually getting selected, because I'm going to be on a campaign. If you're watching this here today, where can folks go vote for you at? Can you direct them? I don't have that exact link. I'll get that here in a minute, but it's NFL.com/ do you have that actual link yet or no?
It's very easy. NFL.com / fan of the year 2022, and then honors and vote. And it's really easy to vote. Very easy to vote. Once it pops up in the lower right-hand corner, right underneath the verbiage where they talk about the NFL fan of the year, it'll say vote here. Click on that little link that says vote here. Then we'll all 32 nominees or selectees will pop up. And then you just go on. Right there's the link. That's the link right there.
Good deal. We got it posted in there on YouTube. I don't know. I'm having technical difficulties with getting this to Facebook. I thought we weren't going to have the show this morning, but Facebook been acting up. I don't know. There's word about Zuckerberg might be leaving Facebook like Dion might leave Jackson State, but that's a whole nother ball of wax, man. I appreciate you coming on here this morning. Thank you for sharing your story, James. Anything you'd like to share with us before we get out of here today?
Oh, I appreciate everything that you've done, getting me on the show, letting me do the shout out. And definitely, if anyone that's coming to Dallas, definitely come out to Barry Griffin's event, Cowboys XP. You'll have a great time. Really fun event. If you see Cynthia Bowen and you're in anywhere around her, go to her event. You'll definitely have a great time. Fan zone. We like to have fun, and that's the name of the game. We're all one fan. I don't see any fan as being bigger than the other fan, whether you're a season ticket holder or you just found out about the Cowboys yesterday. If you love the Cowboys, one team, one fight.
Ain't that a beautiful thing? I mean, you can see a total stranger at the gas station and say, how about them Cowboys? And they say, that's right.
That's right.
You can be a total stranger. I love it, man. I appreciate you being on the show, James. We're going to wrap it up here today. Thank you, everybody, for rolling with us here today. You got to meet James Wright, AKA Soup Man, and hear about his story. He's an NFL fan of the year for the Dallas Cowboys, one of 32 finalists. We got to get out there and go vote for our guy, James. We need to see him at the Super Bowl 57 in Arizona, because it's a good chance, like me and James were talking on the pregame show. He said, hey, man, what games you going to? I said, well, I think I got my eye on the playoffs and maybe out there in Arizona. It'd be a sweet deal with the boys in Arizona and James Wright being NFL fan of the year. I think Woody would be ecstatic about that, seeing you show up and have Woody make the Hall of Fame.
Oh, man, that would be the whole circle complete.
Yeah, well, so shout out to Darren Woodson here, Woody, baby, you know what I mean? Shout out to Captain Morgan. Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys and NFL. Y'all got it right with James Wright, a.k.a. the Superman NFL Fan of the Year. We'll see y'all on the next episode.
All right.